Hi, welcome back to Abundant Living with Cynthia and Galena Strelkov. This is episode 8. We are going to make apples, cabbage, and onions, an old Dunkard recipe from my family. And we're also going to make a mannequin Christmas tree. So stay tuned. So some of you know that I wrote The Lace Makers of Wright Road, and I'm in the midst of writing another book on the Civil War, and it's set on our farm in Bates County, Missouri. So I bought this desk at a local antique shop, and it was pretty much this dark mahogany color, but this part here must have faced a wall its whole life and was pretty much unfinished and undecorated, and I thought it deserved a little something. And so we made the fleur-de-lis applique the other day, and I'm going to hot glue gun this on, and then we're going to paint it black, and then we also made the rope trims. And then after it's painted and on, we will varnish it. Let's see it. So happy to be sharing my grandmother's recipe for apples, cabbage, and onions with you. The first step in this is to have an onion, a pretty large one, and take whole cloves and just spike them into your onion halves. And once this is done, you're going to set them aside into a baggie in the fridge and store them for a couple of hours before you start cooking, or overnight is even fine. These will keep. Okay, we'll tune back in then. So I've had my clove spiked onions in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and then we're going to make kind of an infusion. So I'll put this into a saucepan with some water, and we'll make kind of a reduction. We're not going to throw these onions away, we're just using them for this purpose. I'm going to add about a capful of apple cider vinegar to this. I'm adding a teaspoon of cinnamon, salt and pepper, and a little bit of butter. Maybe a teaspoon of butter. And we're just going to let that boil down and reduce. And while that's happening, we'll chop our nice apples up. And we're here nicely with my onion and cloves. And then here in this fry pan, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in. And I've rough cut some cabbage and my apples. So 3 apples and a half a cabbage. And I've got that on medium-high heat. And I will cover it and simmer that for a while. It will actually cook down quite low. And then we're going to add this sauce to it and some other ingredients. Now apples quite a bit now. I'm going to add just some water from the tea kettle, probably about a cup, and then I'm going to drain our sauce, strain it, and capture that onion. And then I'm going to cover it up and simmer it. Onion, so I'm just going to clean the cloves off. And let it cool, and then I will place the rough cut onion into the pot with the apples and the cabbage. So I've added my pieces of onion from the sauce after taking the cloves out, and now I'm going to add a half a cup of brown sugar. And you can use Splenda brown sugar or regular old-fashioned brown sugar. And stir that in. Now, if you didn't want to use apple cider vinegar, you could use a quarter cup of wine in this, but Dunkards didn't drink, my ancestors, and so we use the apple cider vinegar, which works just fine, gives it some nice tangy flavor. And then I'm going to add another teaspoon of butter on top and cover it and let it simmer. When that's all cooked down and wilted, it'll be ready to serve. So we've decided to do a princess Christmas tree this year, and we're using our mannequin Hildy, and Galena cut off a broom handle and we've strung that through the bottom part of the Christmas tree. We've got all of our branches on here, and now we are getting ready to cut some ribbon that we will be hot gluing other garland to make her skirt. So we're going to measure here and cut her hip line. And then we'll fasten that with some hot glue. Glued on a green ribbon here, and now I am going to take my pre-cut pieces of garland, and I'm just going to stick those on, and we'll pull them out. And we'll continue in this method all the way around Hildy. So we are back and we're ready for layer number 2 here on Hildy. And I'm just building up this garland as her ball gown. And we'll start another layer of garland. And I'm just going to glue this on real quickly, and then we're going to add some silver frosted garland here before we end her petticoat. Plaid ribbon, and that's going to go at the waistline of our mannequin Christmas tree. So I've made one loop and I'm twisting it, and then I'm coming with my long end of my ribbon and I'm going to make a larger loop, and I'm going to twist it, and I'm holding both these loops then with my thumb and finger, and so that the next loop is coming out the right way, I am going to twist again basically you're pinching and twisting each loop. And each layer of loops that you make is just about an inch bigger than your last one. And just so my center still has my thumb in it, and I'm pinching all of these others and giving them a good twist to secure them. And I'm at the end of my ribbon, so that's going to be my bow, and I will adjust it later. But meanwhile, I've got these twisty ties. I'm going to put that through my center loop. And then I'm going to use that, and you can use a pipe cleaner also if you want. And I'm going to use that to secure my bow. And then I'll probably sew that onto the mannequin's waistline. And there we are.